Okay, hello all. This is the Casual Noob Gamer back with another video. Yeah. Oh yeah. Snap into a video. Yeah. Anyway, um so the topic I want to discuss right now is I'm seeing that apparently I believe this happened on Wednesday night, June 25th. There was an update from Mario Kart World. And apparently, people who play like the game like it's going out of style are like the competitive people are in an uproar because apparently, when you played online, when it says, hey, select the next race and it gives you three options, like one of your options is to choose random. And the way that the races work is that if I understand correctly, because I don't play a lot online, and to be honest, I played, I have under 10 hours in Mario Kart World so far, so I don't play it a lot. I jump in for like a race or a couple of piece switches, maybe like every day or other day, really, for like 20-30 minutes, and then I log out. Um, so, well, the reason for that is that when I've played online, I'm usually like in almost like dead last when you play against people online. When you play against the computer on single player, like the computer with the rubber banding, like if you're doing better, apparently the AI in the game, the computer controlled characters actually get faster and more aggressive and have better items given to them. So, like, I've even played against the computer, and I have a hard time coming in first there. Like, I really have to, like, I mean, it's nice to have the little more competitiveness of it, especially with the computers, which is where I mostly play. I don't play online, so I mean, that's nice. I like that. It makes it that like, because before, like, if I really just like played Mario Kart and Mario Kart 8, um, I was usually like really well ahead in first. And when I got into first and like got there, there was a big gap between first and second. And I had like a clear, concise, decisive lead in first. So it's nice to have that little bit of, oh, you don't know if you're gonna actually stay in first kind of thing. That nature, I like that. I mean, like I said, when I'm playing online and like there's just like it's almost like maybe sometimes like I'll come in like in the top 10 or like 12th or 13th or something. Like I'm not usually dead last, but it's pretty close to it. But the point of it is that that's why I really don't play as much, because it's kind of like if I really wanted to be like I understand and that's why the people who play online, like they've been playing Mario Kart, like I don't know if you guys also watch a YouTube channel called Mighty Keith. He does skit videos. He did one on playing Mario Kart in your 30s, and he's like, and the his other personality was kind of going to him. You know these people have been playing Mario Kart for like 10 years, like and he basically was saying the gist of it is that blindfolded they could play Mario Kart, like you're gonna come in dead last, and that's just how it is. But anyway, the point of it is this update and what I think of it. Now, from what I understand, the update before, if you chose a random track, because the way that it works when you play the races is your first race you do the classic 3 laps, and then every race after that, I think you only do like it's basically like an in between track or like a 1 lap race, and you're just basically doing like 1 lap to get from like area to area or whatever it is. So it's not the classic, and people want the classic, who are playing online. So because of that, they were in droves choosing the random option, Because if you chose random, so not the 3 tracks they gave you as an option to play that were part of what they structured, the developers, if you chose a random track, it would give you something that was not one of the 3 ones that were connected, that were kind of like in between to get from area to area, which is part of how the structure of the game they want you to play it now. So it would give you like a random outside one, and that random outside one, I think, would most likely, from what people are saying, would be a 3-lap race, which is what a lot of the competitive players want. They want that classic Mario Kart to play like that. So the update made it that when you choose a random track, it gives you random from the 3 choices, not something outside. So your other track that's being chosen is going to be one of the in-between tracks, which is a 1-lap race, which people don't like, I guess, because they feel it's too short. Because I guess 3 laps, you kind of get an idea of the track, maybe, or I don't know what the thinking is. I guess people also don't like change. But listen, I'm a firm believer that I know people want things a certain way, like they get in their head an idea like, this is how I want my video game to play. But when you're playing a video game, I feel that you are playing the vision of the developer. And it's kind of like, I feel like this also with Smash Brothers. Like, a lot of people like to play like Smash Brothers, no items, only certain platforms, so it's like tournament style. But like when Sakurai developed Smash Brothers, he put in like the effort to figure out how to balance the game with all the things that he puts into it, like items. Like, also, when I play a game, usually, a lot of times RPGs and different things, I'll play on the easiest difficulty. And I've been told by people who are more experts in RPGs that you want to play on the harder difficulties, because when you're playing on the easiest difficulties, you're not utilizing all the systems that were developed for the games. Like sometimes, like some systems would be like food systems, like ingesting certain foods that'll give you like certain like attributes or stats and stuff that'll help you like for a certain amount of time. And then, you want to like forage for those items to be able to make the food items, or to earn enough currency to be able to buy, certain things, or like certain heal items. Like if you're finishing a game with a plethora of items and you're not using all of them, then you're not using all the systems that a developer utilized for a game, and you're not getting the full experience that they wanted you to have. Now that, like I said, goes to the fact that with this Mario Kart update, people are wanting to play a certain way. They're so used to, because listen, they've probably been playing, if you're really competitive in Mario Kart, you've probably been playing that game for the last, what is it? It's been since 2014, 15 that one came out. So you probably played that game for like 10 years. Played it, religiously for 10 years. So it's hard to break that habit and get used to something new. But if the developers are especially putting in an update, like they can see exactly what people are playing and what they're doing. If they're putting this update in, then they want you to play the system that they made and get used to the fact that in this Mario Kart, you are going from track to track, and that is the new gimmick, and that is what they want you to play. Now, like I said, I understand why people are upset with this. They don't like the change. They don't like that. That's fine. It's okay for you to be upset and to not like that. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I'm saying to have like an uproar. Like I'm seeing like videos and posts of people saying, I mean, maybe it's for clicks and for whatever, like cloud or whatever, or people just want attention for it, or maybe they're just genuinely upset and they're reacting to it. I mean, listen, I'm probably gonna title this video that, did the new update ruin, Mario Kart World? So I'm gonna be taking advantage of that myself with this video and my title, to get you to read the title and go, well, did they ruin Mario Kart? What's going on? I played Mario Kart. I don't know anything about this. So I'm informing you that they changed the game, that random now chooses from the three matches. If you're like me and you're a very casual player, you probably wouldn't even known that was a thing. Because when you probably played, you're probably like, oh, one of these three choices. Although I think I saw when it said something like that, like one of the tutorials or something said that you could hit like the plus button to choose like a random course or whatever, or whatever it was as an option. I didn't know what the thing was with that. Like, obviously there must have been some sort of community or something that this information, that if you choose random, it'll give you the three course. Like, it must have been something that people were kind of like, oh, we're getting around the system, let's do it this way, kind of thing. And it's just like your casual player is really not going to care about that. They're going to play the game as it intended. They're going to play Smash Brothers with items on. And, if it means that someone got a win because they got a Smash Ball, or they got an assist trophy that helped them, or, the magic hammer that really just, like, knocks people around, I mean, then so be it. I mean, listen, I've always said, games shouldn't be a thing like, oh, I need to play a game every second of the day. Games should be something that it is a fun pastime that you do and play. You say to yourself, hey, I got some free time, let me jump into a game and play. If you're playing games, and I'm guilty of this too, where I've scheduled like almost my entire day, and I'm like, I'm gonna play games all day. I mean, I never really get to that because that's a whole other story. But I've planned for it myself, so I get it. Sometimes you just wanna, just do all that and whatever. But the point of this video is that I don't think that they ruined Mario Kart World for the game. I think what they did was they're trying to influence you as a player to play the game that they probably have been working on. I think they said they were working on it since the DLC. Like, they had these ideas, but I think that they couldn't implement them, or maybe that was Donkey Kong, but they couldn't implement it on Switch 1. So they said that, I do know that they said they gave the DLC for Mario Kart 8 to hold people over, so they had time to put out Mario Kart World on Switch 2, and they had more time for development. They've been working on this game very much, and they're probably very proud of it. I mean, Nintendo decided to charge $80. So Nintendo wouldn't charge $80 for a game that they didn't have any confidence in, or they didn't have any pride in. So when they see people are doing something to get around the system that they set up, then of course they're going to put out an update that's going to change that and influence people to do it otherwise. Do I understand why there's backlash? Yeah, of course. People don't like change. It's most likely that simple. people thought they had a system, they had a good thing going. Listen, when I played Switch Sports, and I played it mostly for bowling, when after a couple of weeks or a month, they changed it so that the for some reason I stopped getting strikes doing the thing I normally was doing. So they changed something to the input of the controls, the motion controls, that it changed something in the game. I at least I felt, because I was doing the same exact thing that I always was, and I wasn't getting strikes anymore. So I get it. I mean, listen, as a result, I stopped playing, and I just stopped playing Switch Sports, and I was playing it almost every day. So I get it. I understand. I understand that there's going to be people that are just like, you know what? I don't like this. They're going to stop playing. And you know what? Listen, Mario Kart is that big of a game that, yeah, there are going to be people. But unfortunately, what this might do is this might influence it, that Mario Kart is not going to be touted as the game that everyone needs to get by, the really competitive people. Those are your cheerleaders. Those are your free marketers for your game. So Nintendo, I understand that you wanted to influence people to play the game as you intended, but if you get enough people who, and it is a vocal minority, a very small group of people, but they're very loud, and they are the people who are championing your game. When you lose those people, that is when your sales start to tank on your game. And I don't think that you want that to happen. I feel that there should at least be an option for when people play online to even have the option to play, a dedicated 3-lap race system. I understand you want to do it otherwise, but at least have both options, or I mean, I don't know. I understand Nintendo intended the game to be played otherwise, and people don't want to change. So I mean, listen, I mean, I'm personally in favor for whatever the developers wanted me to play. That's how I kind of want to play it. So I don't agree with the people who are upset, but I do worry that the people who are upset are going to tank the sales in the game. So anyway, that is my video. Like I said, I don't think that they ruined Mario Kart World. I think people are just complaining because they're upset. I think that them being upset, they should take a moment, think about it, and say, you know what? I played 3-lap races for 10 years. Maybe it's time to try something different. Get out of your comfort zone. I've been getting out of my comfort zone and playing games that I don't normally play. And it's an experience. Not all the time do I like what I'm trying, but try it out. Maybe if this is how this Mario Kart is, maybe this Mario Kart is not for you. Wait for the next Mario Kart. If you stop playing, or if people stop buying it, that will influence Nintendo to say, people don't like this, let's change. So anyway, I am the Casual Noob Gamer. Like, subscribe, comment, and you have a wonderful day. Later. Bye.